As a 101st soldier, I am truly honored to join you today on this sacred ground and grateful for the opportunity to commemorate the actions of two brave 101st medics. Although their actions occurred 80 years ago, their bravery and their inspirational story has not faded with time. Robert E. Wright was a 101st paratrooper and a medic. Once he landed, he noticed a church steeple and headed towards it. He found himself here at the Church of St. Côme and St. Damien. That 19-year-old medic removed a Red Cross flag from his pack and pinned it to the door of the church to identify it as an aid station and neutral ground. At approximately the same time, 20-year-old medic Kenneth Moore was approaching the village from the opposite direction. Kenneth moved towards the church with two soldiers who were injured in the jump. And before long, the church was packed with casualties. 4 or 5 wounded soldiers shared each pew, and the floor was covered with wounded. For the next 3 days, Robert and Kenneth treated wounds that far exceeded their level of medical training. Robert had only received 3 months of medical training, and Kenneth had only received 3 weeks. And on the evening of 6 June, an American officer entered the church and told Robert and Kenneth that the Germans had broken through the U.S. lines and U.S. forces were being forced to withdraw from the town. The two medics decided to stay with the casualties to continue to provide life-saving care. And by the end of 6th of June, approximately 80 men, among them Americans, Germans, and French, were under the care of Robert and Kenneth within the church. American troops recaptured Angoville on the afternoon of June 7th after a final day of fierce fighting. Robert and Kenneth had maintained the aid station throughout the entire battle and only departed the church when Angoville was finally liberated. Their actions were both selfless and heroic. The memorial commemorating this battle is marked with 2 flags, one French and one American. Unlike many memorials from June of 1944, the memorial does not include a long list of those killed. It instead celebrates lives saved. The inscription reads, "In honor and in recognition of Robert E. Wright, Kenneth J. Moore, medics, 2nd Battalion, 501st Parachute Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne Division, for humane and life-saving care rendered to 80 combatants and a child in this church in June 1944. As fewer and fewer World War II veterans are able to make the trip to Normandy, there are fewer Normans of the same era. It is our responsibility to ensure these stories and sacrifices are never forgotten, and the bonds that were formed between American soldiers and their French citizens remain unbreakable. Our history is your history. And we would not be here today without the incredible efforts of so many local citizens and community leaders. These individuals dedicate their time, energy, and personal resources to ensure that our collective history is preserved. Please join me in a round of applause for all those who continue to safeguard our history so that we may always remember. As I close my comments this morning, I want to reiterate how thankful I am for the opportunity to celebrate such an important part of our shared history. This place will always have a special place in the hearts of the Screaming Eagles, as will the people of this part of France.
I'm Seal Bauer, Company I, 377th Regiment, 95th Infantry Division. I did not come prepared to speak, but as I sat out there, I realized I should. Because I am speaking for World War II servicemen, some 16 million who served in World War II, both in the Pacific and in the African-American, African-Europe theater. I did not come prepared, but that's the way it is in life. So, I realized when Christian said here that we could come to France and that I might be the only veteran that came. Thankfully, there are 2 of us here that fought in France. So I came, I realized it was my duty to come at age 101. So I wanted to honor the two men that fought here. I also want to honor the fact that they treated both their enemies and their people that their own men. And this is, as the general said, an act of humanity. And it is great that we have always, as always, our own forces to protect and the free nations. And our Screaming Eagles are a demonstration of that. I came for America. I came for France. And I came for humanity. Vive la France, and long live the United States of America. Merci.